Welcome back, and thank you for staying with KTN Prime. Now we dive into the conversation, as we had mentioned earlier, on education, specifically funding education. Where are we getting it wrong as a country, and what do we need to do to improve the state of education? Joining me for this particular conversation is the Secretary General at the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers, also known as KUPPET, Akelo Misori. Good evening. Karibu sana.
Good evening.
Okay, so let's just begin with the latest, that is the capitation. Learning institutions are cash-strapped over delay of the release of capitation. We're seeing public and both primary and secondary schools staring at serious operational challenges despite promises from government. I do understand that they promised to release 21 billion shillings by Friday last week. Has it been released?
I don't think any school in Kenya has ever received the money in their accounts, and therefore it means that the money has not been released. And that's the most unfortunate bit of it, because it is at the beginning of the term, and going by what the figures talk about, it would appear that the government is doing much to uplift the standard of education in this country in terms of facilitation. But that one is not to be. It indicates that we don't have reliable communication channels, or rather we are just making the public feel that something is being done by massaging their ego and their feelings. But I don't think that one should be the correct approach of handling education matters in this country, because it compromises the quality of education, it compromises service delivery, it also creates a lot of anxiety, and it makes so many other players in the field, especially those who are running institutions, to be accused of charging extra levies when education is supposed to be a right and supposed to be free. Yes.
So from where you sit, I mean, this is not a problem that we've just experienced. It's something that has been going on. How do we fix that? Because this is schools, this is education, this is the future of the country we're joking with.
We either choose to prioritize education and live by that policy of priority to education. And we need also Parliament to check on the excesses which may exist between themselves and the executive. We don't want a Parliament which is oversighting just emotions. That when the public have an outcry, they themselves go there to just cry also by themselves. They need to hold the holders of office who are supposed to execute such kind of programs to account. Why are they calling the Ministry of Education that, why have you not released money? Yet they have not called the Treasury to explain why money has not been released to the Ministry of Education. So these are the disconnect that we must connect. We have to live up with that. Is Parliament doing its oversight role correctly to correct the messes which exist, especially on such issues like the money has not been released to school? Why?
Okay.
Yes.
Just today, we had that school heads are saying that now that the government is set to roll out chemists, we're moving away from NEMIS, that maybe this would help with the issue of capitation. Do you think it is the much needed silver bullet to, get capitation right once and for all?
I don't think whatever was being done was basically what we have seen in the past, that we are also used to changing names of things. Like now we have primary schools have been changed to comprehensive schools, when actually there is nothing which has changed in terms of the content of the curriculum. Because what we expected is, if the curriculum is comprehensive, then the schools remain primary or secondary schools, senior or junior. But in the circumstance that we have, people think that if it is named as comprehensive, then something good has happened. When you now turn out to name somebody Paul when he's actually Saul, it does not make any difference in the circumstance. So I feel that we are just there to massage the ego of the public, that this is something which is new and therefore it is happening. And that is similar to what they are talking about as the funding model of education. Yeah. What would be wrong if you asked everybody to pay the money to the bank? Why are you telling them that you have incorporated a technology which does not work and does not give the correct service that is desirable for the public? So in the circumstance, in the first place, even the name itself is being changed. The name is being changed because first it lacked the capacity, because the technology which was procured was not the correct technology. It could not accommodate all the learners in this country. And therefore, by the time it failed, it had not even kicked off in the first place, because we had so many learners whose names were not found in the register, yet they had learned from class 1 up to class 4, and their names were not in the register. And that is what could have helped to capture the needs of the schools, in other words. Yeah. But in the circumstance that we see this rapid transformation from name this to name this, it means that we have felt sort of creativity that we desire. We have failed to also develop the culture of being effective and efficient in even procurement and so on. So what is there is that the technology which was implementing NEMIS failed, and now they want to convince the public that there's a new procured technology which can work.
Is it still the same?
I don't think it is the same.
Okay.
I don't think it is different from what we have. It is the same. Okay. The same.
All right.
Yes.
We will get back to that a bit later. I want us to now talk about the budget cuts, proposed budget cuts. Just the other day, during a presentation of the 2025-2026 budget estimates at the National Assembly, we saw the Basic Education Principal Secretary Julius Bitok confirm cuts in, that is 1.213 billion shillings reduction for free primary education. We also have 14.71 billion shillings that will be deducted from junior school capitation, removal of 12.587 billion shillings allocated for national examination and invigilation. Now, before we even get to the nitty-gritties, all this sum goes to around 62 billion shillings. You have raised an alarm saying that, you know what, this could lead to increased in school dropouts and a decline in education quality across public institutions. As they try streamline this, where are we at in terms of talks? Because I believe that fight did not end there.
One thing that we did not mention in our critique to the cuts is that it is moving Kenyans to privatization of education. That education has now become a preserve of those who can afford. If, for example, we have, from 2003, we have accepted the element of free education. We have also accepted the concept that we need to retain learners in school by giving them food for those learners who cannot afford. And then now you remove the cuts. You engage the cuts to reduce funding for even the school feeding program. You remove the cuts on this free or affordable education in terms of those junior school, and let me just talk about the element of implementation of curriculum, competency-based curriculum, and which is supposed to be resource-based. It means that you are compromising the quality. But above all, you are making education to go to those who can afford, because Kenyans will definitely now struggle to look for private education. And that one, which means that the Kenya government is hell-bent in privatizing education. Once we privatize education, then we have locked out the majority of the learners out of school. Yeah. And therefore, we don't care about the future. And education in this country is what can alleviate the challenges of development of this country, can fix our economy, can fix our politics, can also fix our social life. So with these cuts, you expect compromise in quality, and which may also reduce the level of integration of technology in our thinking.
Yeah.
So, for example, now, if you have cut budget on exams, how then will we do exams this year? Because we are already mid-term of the year, and therefore you have already cut the examination supervision. You have also cut the budget which is supposed to monitor the quality of learning in our schools. That means that quality assurance and standards has not been funded. Already we are having a deficit in terms of the facilities that we are supposed to use to promote
the quality
of education.
Yeah.
So those are the things which I think makes us think that we have a very irresponsive government when it comes to looking at the public good. Yes.
Just staying on that matter, I think last year we equally had the same problem of invigilators. How did we sort it? Is there a way perhaps around it? Because if the government claims that we do not have money, we need to find a way around it. Is there a way we can, just find a solution to this mess?
The reasons for which the government came in to pay for candidates' examination fees was to address the issue of invigilation, procurement of examination materials, and laboratory equipment and the like.
Yes.
When the government reviews this by budget cuts, it means that they are preparing teachers to go and mark or examine learners for free, which already is having a challenge, that even when they were being paid, they were underpaid. Now you remove the entire budget allocation for this. It therefore means that you don't care what happens with the quality of the assessment that is being undertaken by National Examination Council.
Okay.
We would expect that the government retained this and improved the budget allocation for this area.
So
it was so sad
when
the minister and the PS Education was saying that there is zero budget for this. Yes.
Okay, so this is, of course, a conversation that's still ongoing. It's not cast in stone, but perhaps have you had a chance to talk to the Ministry of Education about this entire issue of funding education in particularly? Is it an ongoing conversation?
This is the year 2025.
Yeah.
As a union, we have been having with our partners a policy, not a policy, but a framework of urging the government to undertake funding of education very seriously, because education is a public good. The government itself must be aware that this is where we are, because we want to tell them that once you give education another thought for the private players to be the ones doing it, it ceases to be a public good. So the conversation that we have had is we are going public and we are telling them, fund education. Because once you fund education, we are sure that the quality of learning will improve. You will employ so many teachers and so on. In the circumstances like now, we are following up our CBA. And alongside the collective bargaining agreement, which we expect the government to append their signatures very soon.
Yeah, that is 2025 to 2029.
2029.
Okay. Is
also the employment of extra teachers to help ensure that education is carried out with a seamless strategy of quality personnel. But now, if you don't give that money because of budget cuts, it means that we have already compromised education. The quality has been compromised. We don't expect the salary increments because the budget has been cut.
That was my next question, because I remember last year you were pushing for salary increments.
Yes, and therefore it means that the government must brace for tougher life ahead here. We are likely to push them to another level, because if last year we were looking for a stipend, now we are going for the real thing.
And how are those talks so far? Because you said you need to push them. Are they pushing back?
we are waiting for the job evaluation, which one of us has been appointed to join the team of Teacher Service Commission,
Yes.
the Salaries and Remuneration Commission, to ensure that the teachers who are left out in the 2016-2021 collective bargaining agreement form the cohort of those who are supposed to be upgraded in terms of salary rise.
Okay.
These ones are not born out of the fact that we just want salary rise. You have seen that even the jam which is in Nairobi has stopped being jam.
Yes.
Because the teachers cannot drive to school. People are resorting to using bicycles. The quality of our life is going down, and this is what we cannot accept. Once, as representative of workers, we would expect that we move steps going forward, not going backward.
Okay.
Yes.
One more thing that you're equally passionate about, and this is a proposed review of the 44 hardship zones fronted by the government, which will lead to a reduction of the hardship allowances. And here, the government say they will save 6 billion shillings. That is based on an interagency technical committee report under the Ministry of Public Service, Performance and Delivery Management. First of all, have you read that particular report?
I've read that particular report,
yeah,
but it falls short of what is expected of a technical committee of intergovernment agency, because it is unlawful to use an agency to change the law. Whatever the teachers are getting currently is something which is now embedded in law.
Yes, it was negotiated in the CBA.
It was negotiated, and the courts already have appended a consensual opinion on them, that this is what is obtaining in law.
Yeah.
Another thing is, a good labor practice is that once workers are getting an allowance or a salary, you not decrease. It is against the ILO convention that you decrease the salary of workers who are already enjoying this. Already, there is a misconception that the teachers are also those workers who are enjoying the privileges of the newly created structures of our system, the county government. No, the teachers are not beneficiaries of such, because while other workers are working at the county headquarters or district headquarters for this matter, the teachers are working right inside the places. Because, for example, when you look at those teachers who work around a place like Kisumu, which enjoys hardship areas,
yeah,
the ones who are around Nyakach region still suffer floods. And likewise to those ones of Nyatika of Migori. Likewise to those teachers who are in Baragoi, who are in hardship and terribly insecure neighborhoods, and like teachers who are in Mandera. We have counties, yes, but you still find that teachers meet crocodile when they are going to work, like those in Tana River.
Yeah.
And some of them also have animal-human conflict, even in Laikipia here. So you go to school, you meet hyenas to go to school. So these are things which are real in this country.
Yeah.
So we expected the government to increase the number of hardship areas than reduce the number of hardship areas.
How many do you want them to be increased to? Because I know there are regions like Kilifi, for example, that you might want added.
Kilifi and parts of Ukambani, parts of Migori, parts of even Nyeri, for example.
Okay.
I saw places like Kieni are being removed from this, while other places may have been opened. But there are areas which have not seen this. Parts of Isiolo are supposed to be, in fact, Isiolo is supposed to be totally hardship area. But those are the earmarked areas for reduction of hardship areas.
Okay.
So I don't think the intergovernment agency tasked with the purpose of dealing with this matter did a good job. And I want just to warn them that let them try, because they will meet the wrath of the teachers just in the morning, not in the afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah.
We want to take a short break. Hold that thought. We'll be coming back shortly with this conversation. Stay with KTN.